so we're replacing the steering wheel cover on this, and you can see it's cracked, it's gross, it's ugly. This is a real cheap way of kind of making this look pretty good and uniform. This whole process is going to take probably about 10 minutes or so, so if it's your first time doing it, I'd probably advise putting a tender on your battery because your door is probably going to be open. So you're going to want to get two different measurements. You want to get your measurement here to here just to find out how big your wheel is. This is a 17-inch wheel. And then you want to find out the measurement of how big around this is. Usually most wraps that you get is going to work for most sizes. I had to get a specific one because this is a 17-inch wheel. And I'll show you that one right now. So this is the one that I got. I've used these before. They're really good. They fit larger or 16 to 18-inch wheels. This one works for my application, but specifically this brand I do enjoy. I haven't tried really many other brands, but it comes with an entire wrap, and I'll show you here. So it comes in a wrap that is all one, and there's a lot of stretchability to it. And the same thing with the lace. Essentially what we're going to do is just stretch this over the wheel. Now since this does a 16-inch wheel, I am going to have to stretch it about an inch to make it fit over the wheel. And then you can see how it's perforated here. It's got these little dots, and those are basically going to act as your guide. So you're going to be running the lace between the dots here. Now there's not many tools that you need to get this done. You can usually just do this by itself. Now the one thing that you have to do is you do have to heat this up. It doesn't have to be really hot, it's just got to be warm to just make it stretch, and that's so you don't tear it when you're putting it on. I'm using a hair dryer. So I'm going to heat this up real quick. It's not going to be very hot to the touch, it's just going to be warm just to allow it to stretch. Once it's warm, I'm going to go ahead and form it over the wheel. So now that you got it all warm and stuff, now it's supposed to be warm to the touch. You don't want to make it super hot or anything like that. You have a seam right here, which is where the lace is coming from. You want that to face downwards. So make sure you have your steering wheel in the proper position, and you want to put this seam right here at the bottom. So just try to gauge the best you can where about the top and the bottoms are going to be. And I usually like to just set it like this so I know where the bottom of my seam is and where the top is going to be. And I try to line that up the best I can with the top of right here. And you're just going to start right here. I usually like to hold it down like this while I'm stretching it. And you just have to stretch it over the wheel. Now this is probably the most difficult part. It likes to come up on you. So be very careful. Don't rip it. The instruction says not to use your fingertips, and it tells you to use the back of your hand. I did find that to be a little bit difficult, so this is the method that I've always used. It always seems to work pretty good. There you go, you got it stretched over. And try to even it out the best you can. Just kind of go through and make sure it's all level all the way around. So as you're wrapping this, you have the back and then you have the front flap. You want the back flap to fold under the front flap. So make sure you're pulling this under and then you're wrapping the front part of it over the back part. All right, so I rotated the wheel, so this is actually the bottom. I rotated it to make it easier to work on and to see. On this seam right here, you can see that you have the main lace and then you have this little extra lace. I haven't had to use this extra lace before. They put it there, I believe, just in case you need to use it. I usually always wait until the very end and then I'll snip it off if I don't end up using it. So don't snip it off immediately. Leave it there just in case you need it for some reason or another. So we're going to go ahead and start the wrapping process. Now, one important thing that you need to look at is the holes here. So if you look here, you can actually see that they're raised up. They're going up this way, which means when we wrap this, we're actually going to be wrapping it this way. Now, some of these covers come with, and there's nothing you can do about it. It's just the way it was manufactured. Sometimes these lines can be going diagonally this way, sometimes they could be going this way. So just make sure you're looking at it so you know exactly how to wrap it properly. Oh, and also this lace right here, this does stretch, and you want to stretch it about 25% of its stretching ability. So you don't want to pull and tug on this thing hard, but you do want to make sure it stretches That way it will hold everything down. Alright, so now that we're at this corner, you have this little piece that kind of stops us. Now I think I kind of lucked out here, and I think I'll still be able to wrap it around here and catch it, which is good. But in some cases you won't have that option. So what you're going to do is you're actually going to skip this one if you need to, if this section is too big, and you're going to bring this actually down like that, and you're just going to wrap it around the next section like that. And that's if the section is too big. So it still ends up looking good. This I kind of lucked out on. It's real thin. It looks like I'm going to be able to go ahead and just wrap it around. Alright, so we're done now. I've wrapped the entire thing. We've come back to the start, which, once again, this is the bottom of the wheel. I have it turned up, but this is the seam. This is that leftover lace that they have. What you're going to do is, right here is where it started, right here is where I'm ending. You're going to go ahead and end it right here, and then you're going to bring this up, try to avoid this extra lace, because we're going to end up cutting it off. And also, just to let you know, depending on how wide your wheel is and how wide the handle part of the wheel is, you could have a little bit of lace left over, or you could have a ton of lace left over. And I have a ton of lace because this is a thin wheel right here, even though it is 17 inches. So once again, you're going to get up here, you're going to finish this last wrap, because right here, this guide is where it starts. So you're going to finish that wrap, you're going to come up, and you're going to pick one of these holes. What you're going to do, even though it is a little bit tight, this may be a little bit difficult, but you can make it happen. You're going to feed the lace through one of these holes under this, and then out one of these holes. All right. Now, once you have that, you're going to do it one more time. All right. And you're done. I mean, there's not really much else to do. The instructions say to go ahead and cut it right here. What I like to do is I do like to give it a little bit extra. I usually cut it about right here, and I'll go in through the back here and just kind of feed it through the next couple of loops, but I won't have it come out through these holes. I'll just try to feed it under the laces here in the back until about right there, and that just to make sure it doesn't come out. We're going to go ahead and get this cut right here, and I'm going to feed it back through, and then I'll show y'all what it looks like when we're done. So here you go. You can see the finished product here. Not too bad at all. It's nice and tight. It's not going to be going anywhere. Now this is the bottom of the steering wheel. You can see that's where I had to wrap it right there. That's where I had to kind of do the tying to it. So it didn't turn out too bad at all. I'll be putting one of those, this is a manual steering car right now, so it's a little frustrating to drive. It's, what I think, 6.5 turns lock to lock. So I'll be putting on a suicide knob here just to make it a little bit easier to drive. So if y'all like it, leave a like. If you have any questions or anything at all, or if you want to see more stuff like this, comment what you want to see down below. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more stuff like this, and y'all have a great day. Thank you.